Okay, so this video is going to be about how to represent a multiplication problem and then multiply using the standard algorithm. So what you can see here is, let's look at A. We have 3 times 24. So when we have 3 times 24, what that's really saying, and we'll look here, okay, I'm going to put it over here. 3 times 24 is we have 3 copies, okay, 3 copies of 24. And that's what we have right there. So 3 copies of 24. So I'm going to go over on the right-hand side and say, how can I show my 3 copies of 24? So in 24, I have 2 10s, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 1s. Okay? That is 1 copy. Now, 2 copies of 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And now 3 copies, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I say copies, I'm also referring to groups. Okay? So I also here have 3 groups of 24. And that is what you can see over here. My 3 groups of 24. So I want to now leave that there, and I'm going to show this problem, okay, using standard algorithm. So I'm going to write it as 24 times 3. I'm going to stay away from saying put the larger number on top, because as you get older, you're not always going to put the larger number or the greater number on top once you start working with decimals, but you're going to be putting the number that has the most digits across, you'll see. So it's really the longer number on top, which will be easier when you're setting up. So when we set up over here, I am going to start with the 3. All right, I'm going to start with that 3. I know lots of students like to start up top, but you will see why I like to start with the 3 on the bottom. And I'm going to do 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. All right, I put down the 2 in the ones place, and I'm regrouping the 1 in the tens place. Okay, so first I did 3 times 4 equals 12. Now, to check that, you could see here, how many 1s do I have? I have 12 if we count up all those dots. So I have 12. After we do the 3 times 4, I'm going to go 3 times 2, which is really 3 times 20, right? Really is 3 times 20, and then I'm adding that 1. But if I just did my 3 times 20, what is 3 times 20? 3 times 20 is 60. If we go into our model up here, what do I have in my tens column? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I have my 60. All right? Now, let's go back to the standard algorithm. We did 3 times 4 is 12. Regroup the 1, put down the 2. Now, 3 times 2 10s is 6 10s. Add 1 more is 7 10s, is 72. Now, 72 is your answer. Now, if I go back here, I had 3 times 4 was 12, which I have here. 3 times 20 is 60, which I had there. Okay. And what do you get when you add the 12 and the 60? You get 72, which matches up with your standard algorithm. Right? So you see that worked out. Now, let's go to the next one. 3 times 42. Well, 3 times 42, 42. So I'm doing 3 times 42. So I'm making 3 copies or groups. Okay. 3 copies or groups of 42. So 42 would have 1, 2, 3, 4 10s, 2 1s. 4 10s, 2 1s. 4 10s, 2 1s. So I now have my 3 copies of 4 tens, which altogether I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. So that was 120. And my ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I now have 6 in the 1. So I'm going to use that after to double check. So 120 and 6, my answer should be 126. Let's see. And just as a model here, this was my 3 times 40, and this was my 3 times 2. That's also known as partial products, right? I didn't want to throw partial products into this with standard algorithm, but that is really what you're doing. And by showing the model, right? By showing the model, you're doing partial products built into that. So now I'm going to go over here. Let me change color. I'll go to green and do 42 times 3. 42 times 3. I start on the bottom. 3 times 2 is 6. I have nothing to regroup. And then I do 3 times 4, which is really 4 tens, is 12. And you will see I have 126. Check that with the 126 that I have over here. And that equals each other. All right? Now, let's do another one. We have 4 times 34. I don't like using the green. I'm going to do 4 times 34. All right? So, I will show over here. 4 times 34. That 4 is going to be 4 copies, or I'm going to put groups. You know what? I should write equal groups. If I really wanted to be specific, because when we're multiplying, we are multiplying equal groups. So it's 4 copies or equal groups of 34. So I go down here. 1, 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 copy of 34. 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I have expressed and I have shown 34 4 times, all in this place value chart. So just so I know, I did 4 times 30, and that should equal 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Then I did in the ones, I did 4 times 4 ones. So that would be, I can't really fit it. 4 times 4 equals 16, because I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So now that's what I have all together. So really, I have 120 plus 16. Make sure you're lining everything up correctly. And that is 136. So the value of my model here is 136. Let's now go to the standard algorithm. 34, let's change it here. 34 times 4. Start on the bottom. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 110. Put down the 6. Now, 4 times 3 tens is 12 tens, plus 1 more is 13 tens. You get 136. Does that 136 match that 136? It does. Okay. So, I'm going to leave it at that. And that is using, there you go. This is the standard algorithm of multiplication.